can't. It's the railroad's signals. It's their equipment. Liability purposes, since the equipment was there, they just can't all of a sudden just take it away. It's there for safety reasons. So it's basically it's that way until they get the parts in, and so you can continue to call and ask, but it's going to be the same answer. So
I finally gotten used to not going on.
yeah.
Did they give you any timeline at all?
As of last week, they said it could still be 30 days.
First of the year.
Yeah.
We need to look at like maybe putting guardrail there instead of a cement block.
Oh, you talking about the other thing?
Well, no, both of those intersections, we can put some guardrail around there instead of,
I think the idea is gonna be to take out that turning lane. Isn't that kind of where it's kind of shuffling?
Well, it may.
So
easier to move the sidewalk over and put a guardrail in.
They may,
The guardrail.
like I said, that intersection, well, just about every intersection comes up in discussions, but that one, because of the damage that occurs on a regular basis at that one, the railroad has brought up the need to do something different. And that is a logical option, is to, because of the tight radius in which a semi would have to turn at that one, is to eliminate, or not eliminate, we would have to move over the turning lane farther from the tracks, which would eliminate a driving through lane in order to give more of a radius to turn. So that may be something we need to do, but we haven't been asked to attend a meeting yet, so. Anyway. We were advertising for a street opening. That date has passed. We received 11 applicants, so those interviews, I believe, started yesterday to fill that position. Also, the code position, we received 12 applications. That ended last week, so we will narrow that number down to start interviews on that. So. And then the last thing I want to touch on, now that we're into snow season, just a reminder to everybody that there is an ordinance to clear sidewalks within 48 hours of a snow event. So be mindful of that.
And Greg, you said they get one warning, and then that's good for the whole year, right?
That is correct.
It's not per event, you
No.
get a warning.
When I send out a notification, my letter clearly states this will be your only
Good,
notice on getting your sidewalks clear.
excellent.
So, that was it.
Jacob?
I don't have anything today.
Mark?
Steve?
No.
Not to beat this issue to death, but because of the 12th Street rail crossing, we pushed a lot of traffic to the 18th Street rail crossing. I've been asked by 3 citizens to consider some kind of temporary, either stopping traffic or slowing traffic down so that 18th Street traffic can turn on to Highway 75. I told them that we would discuss it, and I don't know if there's any discussion from police chief or fire chief on that, if that would help at all or make it worse. Or I'm not saying I'm an advocate of anything, but I do think it just needs to be out in the public that we've considered it. So
When does public safety meet next?
not sure.
On call basis.
Yeah.
You know,
Tag, there is.
Let's have a meeting.
Yeah, but here's the thing, I think that discussion, fine, but I think it's for future, because if we're only looking at a 30-day, it's a pain in the butt for 30 days, there's no question about it, but by the time we would implement much of anything, our 30 days is gonna be up. You know what I'm saying? So maybe a backup plan down the road is not a bad idea. I'm not sure it would work.
Yeah, I don't.
And I don't know, do they make temporary stoplights? Is there such an animal made? I mean,
well,
you see when they do a bridge project.
The state uses them, yeah, when they do bridge repairs
I think
to,
those are manually turned red.
No, do it automatic.
You know, the cars do it, but, I mean,
With the way the traffic flows there, it would be difficult to get a temporary one that would work, that you
I
could see.
don't know how we would slow things down other than, really not a lot you can do there. You deal with it for 30 days and see what happens.
Yeah.
It's congested out there. We came back at 5 o'clock from McCall the other night and sat on Lincoln for quite a while before we could pull out to get our turn into traffic.
what time? Because I'm guessing it's
It was about 5 o'clock, 4:30,
yeah,
5
that's
o'clock.
my guess.
And you gotta remember, the traffic coming off the highway does not stop.
Right.
They have to go, so we don't back up the highway and have rear end and, so it's tough out there, it really is. And it's gonna be that way for a while.
Unfortunately, yeah.
I would encourage just telling people that if you don't have to, don't go through that intersection, obviously,
Yeah,
go run it there.
avoid it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just wanted to have it out there that we considered, so. I don't see a temporary fix as a good idea either. If you put a stop sign out there, you're just gonna beg for rear end accidents, I think, for people that aren't paying attention. But,
And it's relatively short term. I know
Yeah.
it sucks, but
Yeah.
it's relatively short term.
and be patient when turning on.
Be nice.
Hey.
we haven't had
Hand
incidents
gestures,
out
that's what we
there.
want.
We've had 2 accidents on 75 since closure at 12, that were both, can be attributed to that being at 12, but 18th has not had a wreck at it. Knock on wood right now or something, but it's even better to go down to 24th because the railroad tracks sit farther back. But you get into troubles with the tracks right there, it's such a short
Yeah.
approach.
Yeah.
With Lambert, you got some room down in
Right.
there to see stuff.
Right.
Yeah, you do, there's no question.
All right, that's all I had. Clerk?
Couple, 3 things, Jason, the 75, we've talked about traffic studies, we've talked about, where are we at on that? And this all ties together, so.
Yeah, there's gonna be an in-depth discussion on, and public, because that was the next step, was public input. What they thought we should do with that. That's all gonna be part of now the community development plan,
Okay,
further discussion about that.
okay.
And that's when those public inputs will happen.
And maybe you can speak to this, because I was told last week or this week, early this week or last week, that Sioux Center is actually looking at going back to 4 lanes and getting away from 3 lanes. And I was told that last week by somebody up there. So I thought that was something we should consider as to what their thinking was, because, you know, on the surface, I kinda like going through Sioux Center.
They're having 4 lanes at a median, and the median is causing all kinds of grief.
I
So,
can imagine.
And, because who gets turning lanes into their
Right.
business and who doesn't, and, yeah, it's a mess. So-
Okay, well, it's just something that we were gonna consider, and then.
Yeah, and then, but keep in mind too, that that's the DOT has some input in that, because it's a state highway,
Absolutely,
where this one isn't.
right, from Subway north,
Yeah.
right. And then the blue street light,
Purple?
purple, whatever color, I don't know, it's really
I know which one you're talking
aqua
about.
crazy, man. It's psychedelic.
I think we should have a disco there.
Yeah, I do too, so
I'm aware
anyway,
of it, yeah.
okay, so
It's
it's
what I
not
was
something that's
told,
to come.
yeah, what I was told is it's I don't wanna say a common malfunction of those types of lights,
Oh.
but
Oh, really?
that's the issue.
It's a malfunction.
So it's not a light, it's a malfunction.
Well, it's a malfunction in the actual bulb Yeah,
Crazy.
we would have to put a new bulb in there,
Cause I thought it was,
and hope it's not purple.
I thought it was pretty cool, man.
So right after the Vikings win the Super Bowl, Bill changed back. So never.
And then the last one, the last one is actually a thumbs up, so I apologize, ADD. The community theater really put on a great production, Joel and I went and really enjoyed it, so thumbs up to them.
Yeah.
Belated thumbs up to them.
Very good.
So, yeah.
Brian?
Nothing.
Thanks. All right. Next will be, closed session for pending imminent litigation.
I make a motion to enter closed session under Iowa Code 21.51C concerning a matter that is presently in litigation or where litigation is imminent, where its disclosure would be likely to prejudice or disadvantage the position of the governmental body in that litigation.
We have a motion and a second, roll call, please.
Allen,
Yes.
Frantz,
Yes.
Goodchild, Sturgeon,
Yes.
Yes.
Go into closed session.